McGinnis is probably the easiest hero to pick up and just have fun with. But given her unique toolkit, she also has quite a bit of nuance when you get down to it. Because of this, you can build her in so many different ways. In this video, I'll be focusing on my personal favorite, the turret build. For some basic credentials, I somehow already have 300 plus hours in Deadlock, with McGinnis being my most played hero by far. This video will be broken up into 4 sections: early, mid, and late game, then general tips and tricks.
Starting bombardment!
Start the game off with Wall as your first ability. This allows you to immediately start farming uncontested or look for opportunities to catch your opponents off guard. In my opinion, Wall is probably the strongest ability in the game. I'll go through more applications of the Wall ability later on. Walling off your opponent and quickly clearing the wave will be the most consistent way to secure souls early. After Wall, unlock your turrets and immediately put a point into it. Turrets give you massive pressure and you want to get them down ASAP. Try to place your turrets where your opponents cannot see them from their lane, like behind cover or off to the side of the lane. This way, the enemy can't destroy your turrets without exposing themselves to harass. Also, your turrets will still be able to take down creeps or attack the enemy if they dive you. Take your heal Medicinal Spectre third. Then, make sure to put 1 point into it early so it gives you and your turrets a fire rate increase. Depending on your lane opponent, you can definitely skirmish early as McGinnis. But if you're struggling and just want to scale into mid-game, using Wall to block off your opponents from the creep wave is the best way to keep your lane interaction to a minimum. When Barrage is unlocked, be wary of how and when you activate it. There is a minimum range, so it's possible for an enemy to dive on top of you, forcing you to cancel it. You are also relatively slow while channeling. The bridge and lane is a significant obstacle for your ult. To avoid this, I usually like to ult from on top of the bridge if possible. Your ult is best comboed with your wall. The goal is to catch out of position or fleeing enemies against the wall, then quickly channel your ult onto them. In the early game, this will melt pretty much anyone that gets caught. By the end of laning phase, you want to have picked up the following items: Monster Rounds, Hollow Point Ward, Extra Charge, Extra Health, Mystic Reach, Sprint Boots, and Extra Stamina. These items can vary from game to game depending on the matchup, but this is the standard build.
I can't let the turrets have all the fun!
Your 3 main priorities in the mid game are taking down Guardians and Walkers, clearing jungle camps, and turning in the Soul Urn. McGinnis is probably the best hero in the game for taking out elite jungle camps. Simply walk up to the camp to activate it, then walk backwards and channel your barrage. Not only that, she can also stay very healthy while clearing the jungle. This makes you less prone to ganks and allows you to stay on the map longer without having to heal in base. After picking up Heroic Aura, you'll be able to take out a walker in seconds. All you need is about 2 turrets, then you activate your heal plus Heroic Aura and the turret will just melt. Also, it's worth noting that if you use your full clip, you can reload while channeling your ultimate. When split pushing alone, you can put turrets behind you or to the side near the jungle. This will alert you when you're getting ganked to give you time to escape or confirm the objective. You're also very useful in urn fights because you can set up turrets by the altar to either protect your carrier or stop the enemy carrier. After Heroic Aura, your biggest power spike in the mid game is Echo Shard. If you're ahead on souls, consider picking this up as early as possible. Being able to double wall or put down an extra turret every 20 seconds is pretty big. After that, your big spike is Escalating Exposure. This massively increases your turret and ult damage. Here are all the items you should collect during the mid game.
Let's go, baby!
Late game, your role is primarily support utility DPS. As the game goes longer and everyone gets tankier, your turrets will be less impactful. At this point, your goal is to secure positioning with your turrets, look for catches with your wall, and AoE from afar with your barrage. McGinnis is very useful when securing mid-boss. Your turrets will melt the boss, and after mid-boss is dead, your turrets plus wall blocking off a side entrance make it a challenge for the enemy to potentially steal the rejuve. You can even solo mid-boss if you get enough souls. Here are some of the items I typically build late game. And here are some of the other situational items I often build. If you want to use this build I talk about in this video, it's called Bavin's turret build.
I'm going hot!
Getting back to your wall ability, McGinnis Wall can be used to interrupt or LOS pretty much any ability in the game. Here are a few examples of the abilities that can be interrupted or blocked. Just be careful against Great Talon Owl because the AoE does go through walls, so it will hit you if you're too close. It can even block targets already hooked by Bebop. Also, when wall is level 5, it is a 1-second stun as well as an interrupt, so it can be used to stop any cast like Dynamo Black Hole. Another underrated use for McGinnis Wall is using it to escape down corridors. When used this way, the wall is the most reliable form of escape in the game. Unfortunately, wall placement can be sometimes glitchy, causing sections to be cut off and allowing for chase. From the testing I've done, it seems that the wall will prioritize blocking off the area at your crosshair. So if your crosshair is off, the wall may not block off where you want it to, even if the wall should block it off if generated fully. The one tip I'd give to avoid this is to just be precise with your crosshair placement. Make sure to always lead your shots on barrage. The AoE zone is big and can hit enemies behind cover as well, especially if you have Mystic Breach. If you're playing turret McGinnis, it's fairly important to understand how the turrets work. Turret aggro priority goes as follows. Number 1 is your target, but only if your target is an enemy hero. Number 2 is an enemy hero, over NPCs. And number 3 is the closest enemy. It will only swap to heroes, it will not swap back from attacking a hero to attacking an NPC, even if you are currently targeting the NPC. You can only command your turrets to attack heroes with your left click. It's worth noting, this does not work with your barrage. That's all for now, thanks for watching.
Goodbye.